Bulavinaka, and welcome once again to this episode of the Midnight Kingdom Fellowship Group. And we have set aside the branch out into what we call a Becoming a Man Fellowship, in which we talk about and we talk to men out there, and we also talk to women out there which are and who are in relationship, or maybe wanting to be in a relationship. Society needs men. We are born a boy, and sometimes we remain a male. We never become a man. A man is a person of responsibility. A man looks after and is a safe keeping of the family, our Jerusalem. With us in this episode, we are very fortunate to have a good friend and a colleague, and in this space of safeguarding and in areas where we look after our children out there in schools, we can start to teach them ways in which they can, in their own ways, not only report or manage to report and the ways to report, but also training them so that when they become a man themselves, in the later stages of their life, they will make sure that they are a real man. With that, welcome once again, Tirani. And would you like to just introduce yourself to our viewers today?
Yeah, Bulavinaka. My name is Tirani Uluilakeba, originally from Uluilakeba in Laos, and I'm married with 5 kids. I've got 4 girls and a son.
Well, with those girls and a son, it's always making sure that what you have taken off in our area on safeguarding, not only are you teaching teachers out there on safeguarding, but you are also thinking about your children while you're doing that, because your children will be taught by teachers. So would you like to talk a little bit about your curriculum that you developed yourself over the years? Should be proud of it, so that you are teaching teachers out there to make sure that they understand how to work with this. Would you like to discuss a little bit more about that curriculum?
Yeah, thank you, Talemo. I think for those who do not really know the background of the work that I do, I work for Oceania Rugby. I was a school teacher, taught for 20 years before I moved to sports. And I look after participation and pathways. And in 2017, one of the key work that I do is to grow the sport. Right? We wanted to make sure that we have boys and girls coming into sport. And when you look at rugby is a male-dominated sport. Right? So who are the key target group there? Young girls. And then that's when, quite fortunate that I have some colleagues from UN Women and also with Child Fund, where we adopted a program called Pass It Back program. That was way back in 2017, and we tailor-made it to suit the context of the Pacific. And the key, we are using sport, and we're using rugby and the core values of rugby. And as you know, the 5 core values are discipline, integrity, passion, solidarity, and the foundation of all the values is respect. And the key message that we are trying to drive there is about gender equality and also ending violence against women and girls. That, to me, was one of the major work that I really acknowledge and put more time into it, because if you're looking at bringing in girls into the sport, that male-dominated mentality will always be there, and the girls are not safe in the, if you're talking about just being physically safe, emotionally safe, because we have heard very common, comments like, this is a men's game, and this is, if you want to play this game, man up. And look, that is something that has been there for all these years, and it's the culture, and our religion also contributes to that, and I think that's something that we can discuss later.
Correct.
I developed so from the Getting to Rugby Plus program, then because it is very resource intense, and a lot of money that is spent to actually transform a coach to be able to deliver the Get Into Rugby Plus program. So there's about 21 days of training. We've got our life skills training, child protection training, and all this. So in the workspace that I am in, I have to think about what is a simple curriculum that can be delivered for one day that can also impact the behavior, the change behavior that we have witnessed in the Get Into Rugby Plus program. Hence the reason why I developed the Values, Gender Inclusion, Safeguarding module that we are now delivering to our people and our colleagues in the Pacific. And, last 5 months, we have got over 703 reach in terms of the training that we have done. And that include coaches, volunteers, staff of rugby unions, and most importantly, parents who also realize the importance of their role when it comes to safeguarding boys and especially girls.
Congratulations once again on developing that curriculum where there is a real need. You said this change behavior is one of the main targets of the curriculum. Would you like to highlight and enlighten the viewers there what has happened, transpired, and what we are continuing to look at on change behaviors, not only on the people delivering it like teachers, but also on the impact to our children and especially girls and women out there, women leaders out there.
Yeah, good. Look, we don't have to look far. If you're talking about behavior of boys and girls, we look at the stats that is there. When it comes to violence, who are the biggest victim of violence? It's mostly women. Right? And a high percentage, and in our Pacific, we have a very high rate of violence against women. And who are the biggest perpetrators?
Men.
Biggest perpetrators are men. All right? And when we unpack the root cause, what is actually causing men to be violent? What is actually causing men to be that, deadly in the sense?
Aggressive. In a negative sense of the word.
Yeah.
Yep. Not protecting the women, but not aggressing against the women. Being
correct.
Yeah.
So it is because, the power imbalance that they have adopted over time.
Okay.
Where, culture plays a role. It's not, we're saying that culture is bad. But there are part of the culture that has always been saying that, you have total authority over your wife. And that mentality, that mindset takes them from generation to generation. And we are thinking that we own women, that we can do anything to any woman. So when they get violent, when they get angry, they feel that they have the right to actually slap or punch. And this is the root cause, and we have to look at that's the reason why they are the biggest perpetrators of violence.
Well, just post that thought there, and I'll come back to that. And I just want to speak to viewers out there. There's help, and this ministry is producing and providing some help. As you can hear from our guest this evening, that there is help there, that we are helping teachers, we are helping children to understand that. And being a masculine man does not mean that you need to show it by being aggressive to women and children. You need to show it by loving them and protecting them and making sure that they feel safe within your grasp. Is that the message you are trying to portray into this?
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Because at the moment, there is a lot of imbalance because men, their behavior is this, and that led to all this high rate of violence by men. So we wanted acknowledge this initiative to make sure that men acknowledge women, that they are equally,
Correct.
And there's no one that should be harmed for any relationship. So, some of our curriculum, and I'll get into Rugby Plus curriculum, talks about healthy relationship. So kids at the age of 10, because the programs, we're looking at age 10 to 16, and this is where the puberty stage takes place, and it's critical because the behavior can actually change, at that age.
Yes.
So, we have to make sure that we keep telling men that, until they unpack the root cause, they will never be corrected. And hence the reason why they will always take that aggressiveness with them as they grow up.
Yep.
So I thought, it's a great initiative to have counselors who are there.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, they have been taught that, okay, you are a man. You have to act like a boy, act like a man.
Yeah.
So it's that mentality that we have to correct to make sure, because that is actually one of the root cause of all this behavior.
No, thank you, Tirani, for bringing that across. And for our viewers out there, I believe something that Tirani is touching is what this ministry is also about. And that is making sure that you become a man, a real man. A real man is a safe haven. A real man is responsible. Honor your family by making sure you're protecting your family. That's real man. There's a few episodes that we have already delivered that you can watch and see what a real man does. And biblical references to it. Even Eve was made out of the side of man, so that you can actually there. It's never to be stepped upon. It's not there to be punched on or being aggressive on. It's there for the comfort. Women should be feeling comfortable that a man is there. And that message should go out there. And I'm grateful that you are having that part of, which we can call it a ministry, that you are supporting young lives. And when you are teaching these children to do that curriculum, these teachers, you're actually helping some of these teachers.
Yeah.
Definitely, some of them could be having some more challenges themselves. And teaching them that now teachers are always look up in the community. So you're making a difference to the teacher, and you're making a difference to the children.
Just to make add on to a few points there. Number one, you mentioned about religion, and religion is something that everybody holds dear in the Pacific.
Exactly.
And it plays a very important role in shaping the community. In Fiji and across the region. I think it is important because of that. We as you said, if we're quoting from the Bible, is very important.
And you don't leave it.
And you don't leave it. That's something that is really important. And I think what's also important is keeping a balance to make sure that they see religion, they study the Bible holistically. Because sometimes, we pick some of the message in the context that it was being said, and then we bring it into different contexts. And I think, for us, it's very important that we understand what is the biggest principle that Jesus Christ brought into this world, and that is love. He didn't want anybody to be violent through
or trampled upon or being abused.
So I think that's the number one principle, and we wanted to make sure that when you talk about, we have to teach people, healthy relationship is very important. So it's about not raising your voice. It's about sharing common ideas or issues to be resolved in a amicable way. Because at the end of the day, we are all human beings. We're still human beings, but we need to learn how to control our emotions. And this is something that we also learn
Beautiful.
Through our safeguarding training.
Man, we'll stop there in this episode, and you talk about safeguarding, and we want to go there deeper in our next episode. But thank you very much for watching this episode. As our guest Tirani has mentioned, this is about becoming a man, but there is trickling down to teach our young adults, our young children, boys and girls, so that they see the right picture and identify the wrong picture and report on it or talk about it. That's the safety that we have to start. Thank you very much, Tirani, for this. I believe there is a lot of interest out there in this regard, and you're making a difference into those schools, not only in Fiji, but around the Pacific. And I believe we need to hear more of that in our next episode. Until then, there's a helpline that is already out there. Please reach out. Our guest, we are going to also make sure that his number is also there so that you can reach out. Until then, shalom.